Hey, Benoit.
We're back.
We are back and we are up here. I'm just trying to get the technical details
We're
correct.
back.
But we good to go here. Let me shut that off. That off. Okay, Benoit, how are you?
Very good yourself.
Good. It's been a crazy couple days.
It has been. It has been.
Yeah, you're in the car. Where are you going?
I'm going to Quebec City for meetings with 12 shareholders. This had been planned for over a month. So I left Montreal early and going to Quebec City and coming back to Montreal. So on the phone all the way up and on the phone all the way down.
Excellent. You're a busy man. So this shore report came out of the blue yesterday, right? Blue Orca. And I look, this is what they do. They launch, erroneous reports on companies, try to knock it down, cover the shares lower. They have a history of this. And then, I've been in the industry for 15 years and I've seen this happen, three, four times. And, all the allegations are proven false. And I think they picked the wrong girl to dance with in this case, picking Aya to pick on, right?
I completely agree with you. I think it's the algos that picked it for them. We
Right,
were one of the best performing story.
right.
We were completely off our benchmark. We were much higher than the benchmark. We had done so well over the years. So I think the algo identified us as being one of the company that they should attack, and but they attacked a company that has no history, that has no issues, that has got two great assets, one in production, one in development. I really believe they may, and you know what? I think this is why they used the atomic bomb yesterday, because they realized that they were cooked. They were done. We are putting out Q3 production numbers in a couple of weeks. PEA on Boumadine in a couple of weeks. New resource model and resource update on Zgounder. They were done. They were cooked. We because of them shorting the stock for a couple of months, we were about 40% behind our peers on the SILJ, and we were going to make that up. Like in a couple of weeks, we were going to make that up. So I was really convinced that the stock was moving from mid teens to probably 20 fairly quickly based on just those results. And of course, this is, forward looking, but, and I think they saw that. We had tremendous coverage at Denver Gold Conference at Beaver Creek, and I think they realized either they were gonna use the atomic bomb or they were gonna get smoked. And so they did that. They yesterday morning 9:15, after they had borrowed 2 million shares on Tuesday from the box, 1 million share on Wednesday, 5 million yesterday morning to prepare and to short and attack the stock, which they did, and put out the short report, which is complete false. Like it's wrong from the first page to the last page. And look, and sadly, the people like you and the bigger funds have seen this story before. They've seen the movie, so they don't like it, but they don't sell. But then you've got all the small shareholders who either are on margin calls, or they sit together and as a family, or and they decide that this is too much pressure. And I would say 100 call yesterday of small shareholders telling me that they sold, they were scared, they thought the website was down, which they attacked, by the way.
Oh,
The
totally. Yeah.
they attacked the website, so people got scared, which is exactly what they wanted. And Robin Hood, steal from the poor, give it to the rich, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. A couple things. Like I totally agree. You get Aya with Zagounder in production. When you look at the revenue cash flow versus your market cap, there's a mismatch there until you include Boumadine, right? Which NAV value, they're not looking at that. They're using quant models. They look at revenue, they're looking at profits. They're like, this silver company is overvalued. Why is it overvalued? And then they go with the story. So, and then I also noticed bots on Twitter that have no followers. They started attacking me. It's a whole short scam system. Let's pick apart the Blue Orca presentation from yesterday.
Yeah, well, first of all, they say there's 50 million ounces missing. I mean, this is completely fake news. There's no ounces missing. We've been producing 10 million ounces since the resource model was put together. We are reconciling every month the metal that is taken out of the ground to the metal that's in the model, and we have perfect reconciliation. We have been adding 200,000 meters of drilling, actually 240,000 since we did the resource update. So we'll do a new resource update. There will be more metal than, with the reconciliation. So what we had to start, less what we produce, and what we have now is going to be positive. And of course, it's going to be positive because you see the drill results that we've been putting out for 4 years. They're all positive drill results. So they didn't do the math. They didn't do it. They didn't even call us to verify their numbers. So that was the first thing. 50 million ounces missing, completely false. Second thing, resource model done by a friend of mine. Like, look, I've been in this industry 30 years. I know a lot of people. The resource model was done by somebody that I've been working with, but the resource model was done. But the audit of the resource model was done by a third party, independent, not close to me. I have never yet spoken to them in 4 years of us working with them. I leave that to the VP of exploration and to our CFO and our chief legal officer. They speak with the independent auditor, not me. And the fact that Marc-Antoine Audet, who by the way was a QP for Falcon Bridge years ago, is a very well-known geologist. He's the guy who really discovered how Zgounder should be attacked, how it should be drilled. He's the one who really kind of found out from the original discovery how this was set in the ground. So he did the resource. We had it audited. They never mentioned that. Then we also had $100 million loan put onto for construction financing. They audited the model. So come on, guys. I mean, it's all wrong. Like, sadly, the smaller shareholders just get trapped in the tsunami that they've created. And having created this tsunami, some people do end up losing money because they sell too quickly and they don't make the right decision. So look, the report is wrong. There's no collusion between the resource calculation and myself. There's no collusion with anybody in the company. We have an outside team that reviews all of our resource models. It's done by external parties. It's 43101 compliant. Completely false report from top to bottom.
Well, one of the things, so I'm an analyst and I follow you very closely. And, I'm all about the money following free cash flow, right? And you just expanded the mill to 2,700 tons per day. But, your grades have dropped, and that's one thing. So therefore your costs have risen. Talk about that. How
Yeah.
you that.
So absolutely. So when we did the resource model, we were using $22 silver, and we had 75,000 meters of drilling. And based on our interpretation, some of the higher grade zones were taken into account, and some of the lower grade zones were not taken into account. And that gave us a model that gave us an average grade of 240 gram, and we agree that that's what was there, and we started mining it, and for a couple of years we were mining exactly the resource grade. We were mining it, the reserve grade. Sorry, we were mining that. And as we did the plant expansion, and though we have a nameplate capacity of 2,700, we're actually turning right now at 3,500 ton per day. We increased the throughput from the underground and we created the open pit mine. And in doing that, we started processing a lot more ore, being a little bit less careful in the way we were mining it. So less selective mining and more bulk mining, and the grade did come down. The grade came down too much. We agreed. The fact that we had grade at 150, that was way too low. That means we were losing, we were bringing too many rocks that were empty to the crusher, and we had too much dilution. We've corrected that, and now the grade has started to come back up. But the grade will not be the grade of the 2021 model. In the 2025 model, we'll have a new grade that will be between 170 and 180. And the reason is because we're using a higher silver price, a lower cutoff grade, and the mineralization is there. But don't forget, when we did the 2021, and you and me, I'm an accountant, I'm not a geo or a mining engineer, it's all about cash flow. When we did the 2021 model, it was $22 silver, $10 all in, $12 margin. Now we're $45 silver, currently $20 all in for $25 margin. So on a margin basis, this mine is much more robust than we had anticipated. Now, could we mine it at 240 and have the same cost? Yes, we could, but we would be high grading it now, and it makes no sense to do that, to high grade the mine while we can mine some ore that's at 120 and 140 and still make money with this. So you can expect for next year to, and again, we are going to be putting out guidance, but on a forward looking, on 6 million ounces of production with $25 margin, that's $150 million US of operating cash flow coming from this mine.
And that's one of the reasons why I like you, because you ran Zagounder back in 2020, 2021. It was a much smaller operation at 700 tons per day, but you were generating profits every single quarter, banking it.
We
Versus
have.
other companies were struggling during that time. So the expansion, you had trouble with development. You're trying to get more ore, trying to keep the grade up. Like, that's a mining problem. That's not some Blue Orca scam. It's ridiculous. And you're solving those problems. You're going to get the grade. The grade last quarter was 138 grams per ton, and you expect it to start rising back up to 175 grams per ton to get it back on track, right?
Totally. The reason was the open pit. We're the first open pit in Morocco. They had never seen it. There was way too much blasting. We were diluting the grade. A normal problem that is corrected now. And so absolutely, we are changing that. And we're going to go back to a much higher grade. The grade was really a function of mining with a higher silver price, a lower cutoff grade, but really also with the fact that we were over blasting in the open pit.
How much of the ores from open pit and how much is from underground?
70% open pit, 30% underground.
Do you see that transitioning over the next few years?
No, it's going to be like that for many years.
Okay. Let's talk about Boumadine. You have a economic study coming out in a few couple weeks. You released a resource on Boumadine. It contains 29 million tons at a GEO gold equivalent grade of 4.3 grams per ton. Like, that's high grade. That's a lot of tons. That is 4 million ounces of gold of inferred resource. Now, you haven't done an economic study on it. You're going to be coming out with it in 3 weeks. But as an analyst, and I'm independent, I'm a newsletter guy, I can do my own calculations, and I build NAV models based off Boumadine. And what I'm seeing 400,000 ounces a year coming out of Boumadine.
You're absolutely right. We're going to build Boumadine on 8 to 10,000 ton per day. It's exactly what you're saying. It's a very strong project. We're going to come out in a couple of weeks, but 400,000 is what we have as a target of gold equivalent. It's going to be gold and silver. It's a very robust mine because, as you've indicated, it's a high grade at surface in a country with great infrastructure. So it is a tier 1 asset. It will have a long mine life. We are just looking right now at the resource as of 2024, but there's a resource at the end of this year. We've drilled another 200,000 meters. So you're right. So the PEA is going to be a first phase PEA. because it will, have a production of a concentrate, and it will only take the resource down to about 250 meters of a structure that we know is open at depth, open to the north, and open to the south.
Yeah. So if you start looking at operating cash flow from Boumadine and comparing it to Zagounder, which Zagounder is what, 120 mil. Boomdine's projected could do it's 7 times or 10 times the size of Zagounder as far as NAV value. Um, and the thing that really blew me away was, the whole district. Like you guys are one of the main operators in Morocco, and Alex showed me the where you're mining from versus the whole district that you own with all the geotechnical stuff. You get blobs there, the whole area, your whole property is mineralized.
Well, so yeah, we're absolutely right. So we're mining from one area only, called the main Boumadine trend, but we've already discovered additional trends to the west and to the south, and that's not into the PA. Neither is the drilling of this year, and neither are the extension to the south, to the north, and at depth. But you're right, Boumadine is a multiple of what Zgounder is. Zgounder is a beautiful mine. It's built. It's generating great cash flow, but it's nothing compared to a tier one asset like Boumadine. It's nothing.
I don't think the street is ready for this. I don't think
Uh,
they have any idea what's coming.
well, I think the street is getting ready. The street was moving in that direction, and this is what triggered the panic from the shorts, because they were going to lose so much. Because what if, in a normal market, when you put out a study like that, which is a well advanced, well advanced PEA, like it's almost a pre-fees where capex will be well defined, metallurgy is well defined, infrastructure is well defined, production is there. You know that you're a year and a half away from a final investment decision, but which we already know we're building this. So you're 3 years away from production. It's very scary for these guys. They would have been killed.
Yeah, yeah. So it was all about the time, and then low cost Morocco. You start throwing in the cost per ton and the capex of Morocco for this, and the economics are off the charts at Boumadine.
Yes, they are. We will see this in a couple of weeks.
Now, talk to me about now. Boumadine's refractory, right? So you're getting what, 80% recoveries there?
So Boumadine is well, not all refractory. So we will be producing three concentrate: a lead concentrate, a zinc concentrate, and in the concentrate you'll have 50% of the silver, 25% of the gold, and that's not refractory. So that is full payout, 92%, no issue there. Then we have a pyrite concentrate, which will have 75% of the gold, 50% of the silver. It will have all the pyrite, which is it's an extremely important element, because right now the smelters need to put concentrate to create heat for the copper concentrate. So we have been receiving some very strong signals of interest to buy the pyrite concentrate from Europe and Asia to put into the copper smelter. And you know that the copper smelters are short right now of concentrate. So the PA is going to be in two phases. Phase one is going to be a flotation plant, and it will be all about producing three concentrate that we will be selling to the open market. There's no hedging, there's no stream, and that will be, as you mentioned, 400,000 ounces of gold equivalent. So a very strong output coming out of the first phase. The second phase will include the treatment of the refractory ore through a roaster, but that's much later in life. This is because if the demand continues to be that strong for a concentrate, we'll have to do another study to see if the roaster is it's economical. There's no doubt it can make a lot of money, but we'll have to see the value of the pyrite, the value of the sulfuric acid, the value of the energy, the additional recovery, 20% of the gold and of the silver, and do another economic analysis. So we're going to present both, but we will focus on the first phase because the first phase has a low capex for us. It's doable quickly, and it will generate in gold equivalent. And to be, we will see this in the PA, but our objective is to generate about 400,000 ounces of gold equivalent.
Yeah, the roaster adds cost, but it's all a matter of grade versus cost, right? And as long as you got the grade,
Precisely. Yeah. Yeah.
Boumadine's got the grades of 4 grams per ton geo equivalent. And that's one of the reasons why I've liked you in the past too, because you kind of bootstrap using your internal free cash flow to grow and not tapping shareholders every time you need capex. And then Boumadine, like capex there, I don't know, I'm throwing in a $500 million figure for capex, but that's fully funded for you guys, right? Because you got backing from the Euro board.
That's right. So you're absolutely right. Your numbers are pretty good, accurate. Something like that, 500 million is something that is totally doable for us. We have full backing from EBRD, the European Development Bank. We have full backing from our own banking syndicate, which is willing to come in behind EBRD for whatever amount is needed, and the off-taker who wants to take the concentrate is willing also to come up and give us a bridge financing or a prepayment on the concentrate for up to about $200 million. So we're in a very good position where no additional financing is needed. We have all the money to develop Boumadine. We will be announcing a very large drill program for 2026 and the first half of 2027. And that's going to, we will tighten the grid. We will do some step outs. We will check the south, the north, and and that is only on the first structure. And as you indicated, Boumadine is it's a district made of many sub-districts, and Boumadine is made of, for the more geological savvy listeners, it's made of 4 geological events. So there's a geological event that's polymetallic, one much later that's silver and zinc. There's one that's strictly gold. So we announced recently a new gold discovery of 9 kilometers long with extremely high grade gold and a little bit of copper. So we have polymetallic, we have gold with copper, we have copper with silver, and we have lead zinc with silver. So it's 4 geological events that brought the fluids to surface 500 million years ago, and we're doing all kinds of studies on that to understand the aging and how it was put together, if it's a pore-free system. We know it's a VMS system, so it's volcanic massive sulfide. That's why we have the pyrite, and that's why it is refractory, and this is why we will need at one point the roaster, which will come much, much later, and because we can build this with just the flotation portion of the plant, which will have a much lower capex that we can manage ourselves.
Okay, good. I'm all over that. I'm gonna see if there's any questions from the audience, and then do you have anything you want to close with?
Well, let's see what the questions are, and then I'll do a closing statement.
We're looking for production estimate for third quarter.
Yeah, so this will be out in a couple of weeks, but I can say that it's completely aligned with our planning.
Okay. Legal action against Blue Orca.
Absolutely, my friend. I love going to war. I love that stuff. It's sadly, but yeah, we are. Instructions were given loud and clear yesterday to our legal team. You saw when we did the construction, we had a fixed price contract, fixed delivery date. Sadly, for the EPC contractor, he missed on the delivery date. We got $8 million back from him as compensation. We have an amazing legal team in-house. I'm saying absolutely amazing. And we're going all out. all out for compensation, all out with SEC, with IROC. Everybody is going to be at the party. We cannot let this happen. I had 100 calls yesterday from small shareholders telling me that they had lost money, that they got caught in the tsunami, that the banks stole their shares, that they couldn't take the pressure. It drives me nuts. I meet people, I return calls every day. I don't, we turned down financing because at one point in this company, because we didn't think the price was good, it was too high. We knew there would be a bit of a correction, and our objective is never to do a down round and to make sure people make money. And when I see that our small shareholders got taken into the tsunami, I take this personally, and we're gonna try to teach them a very hard lesson.
Ready for some more questions? Are you ready for some more questions?
I'm ready.
All right. Yesterday in the release, it mentioned $150 million of cash. Is that what you have? Does that include restricted cash?
So in liquidity, in our Q2 financial on the balance sheet, we had 110 million and 25 million line of credit that was not utilized, and we've been making cash in Q3. So the final number in Q3 will be out on November 10th or 11th, I believe, November 11th in the morning. And yeah, we'll be way above 120 and a $25 million line of credit.
Okay. What about why'd you only buy $100,000 worth of stock yesterday?
Yeah, you're right. We could be buying more. No, it's a good question because I have a lot, and we all of our LTIs are in stock. So I do get every year a couple of $1 million worth of stocks every year. All our LTIs are in stock, and so it's you're right. Look, I bought 100,000. It could have been more, but John Brzezinski and I just together went out and bought some stock and showed the market that we were quite keen about what's happening. But yeah, you're right. If the opportunity was too, it's not even. I did not want to be timing the market. I just wanted to put out a sign that we believe in what we're doing.
It was a good message. It was received. How much stock does Management Insiders own of Valia?
So the board is at 15%. One board member has his family office. They own about 30%. So Nicolas Sofronis. Nicolas is just away on a sick leave. He'll be back next year. When we say it's about above 40%.
How much? 14%?
40.
40%. That's a lot.
Yep.
Yep. Could you speak about, you already spoke about third-party credibility, auditors, engineers. The short report was talking about, internal buddies and, putting numbers on the board, but all your reports it's all third party. Like you have no relationship with them. It's all independent credentials.
It is. It's all third party audited. Like our financials are audited by KPMG. It's all third party all the time. The resource statement is done by a third party. It's audited by a third party. Of course, done by us because we do our own numbers. We do our own work. We don't subcontract geology. We do it internally. We have over 250 people just in geology. So we will have at the end of the year 20 drills turning. We do all that work ourselves, but we get it audited by third party, and it has been done. It has been audited by third party. Boumadine has been audited by third party. Zgounder was and will be audited. It is being audited by third party. So the governance, compliance, 43101, we take all of this very seriously. It's a clean operation. We have no lawsuits. We have all our permits. Boumadine is fully permitted. We have all our permits. We have the right to build. It's a very clean story, very clean company. We just got attacked by financial terrorists,
Yep.
and that's again unexpected. They came, took over the website, created a panic, sold at the beginning to create panic, borrowed 5 million yesterday morning, and sadly the small holders ended up paying.
Yep, no doubt. Here we go. Last question. What's fair value for Aya stock today?
I don't know. I'll ask you. You're the analyst. I'm the CEO. Uh, you're the analyst, but the average price is around 22 right now from 10 analysts that have all been to site, that have all reviewed the models, that and all our banking syndicate. There's one analyst in in Europe that has a target of 30 from the Jordan Fund, the Jordan Group, the Jordan Group. They have a target of 30. And Garrett, what's your target? I mean, I'm not the one to say, but look, I believe that we have a long way to go in this market. We're selling silver every 3 days, every week. We're producing over 100,000 ounces a week. We sold this morning at 43.30, 45, sorry, 45.30, and it went up to 45.70, but it's okay. We'll have probably more to sell tomorrow. So
Yeah,
it's a great time to be in this sector. We've been a we've known each other for a while. We've been a great company for the last 5 years, delivering increasing in resource like nobody else in our industry, and that's why we got attacked. So I don't think I don't think management should be penalized and associated with a terrorist attack. That's like a freak attack, and but we'll bounce back. I mean, we have major milestones coming for the end of this year, till the end of this year, and I think the market will readjust.
yeah, no doubt. I think a lot of your value is coming from Zagounder here. I don't think Boumadine's fully recognizing your stock price. Boumadine, it's a tier one asset. It's a district play that's worth 5x, 7x Zagounder. Puts you, I don't know, $5 billion once Boumadine's in production. You get a discount of that. It's still multiples higher than the current stock price. And I don't think it's factored in. I think your economic report coming out in a couple weeks is going to open up a lot of eyes.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I,
Excellent. Thank you, Benoit. All
Thank you, my friend.
right.
Anytime
We'll
I'm
talk soon.
available. All right. Thank you.